Prava's got his shawl ready. He's ready to go incognito through the station.
Just in case. Oh, but I did mention before that Z was about to go on her way and off towards for security. However, before she does, she actually stops for a moment and turns back to you guys, and of course you as well, Prava, and goes, I do have something to give you.
Oh, you don't have to do that. We're just doing our job, helping people in need.
Well,
you can if you want to.
Well, not exactly give you, she says. She like strokes her hair a bit. It's more of something I took. Do you remember when I asked you if I could search around in that pile for anything I might need? The pile of junk you bought on this ship that one time?
Kuzon's eyes narrow, and it's just like, you take something. It's like, what did you take out of my scrap pile?
I asked, and you said, like, yes. Anyway, since you did pay for my medicine, I thought I would give you something that I found back. It's actually looks rather important. And she takes out this.
It's an artifact from a long forgotten age.
The small crystal ring dances with an aurora of color, even as it just sits there in her palm.
That actually looks pretty cool.
Kuzon, you gotta check your junk piles more carefully. It's a fancy ring to just be sitting around a pile of garbage.
Kuzon just like shrugs, and it's like, it looks like a circular rock.
I will say that despite what you see, Kuzon, you, Prava, and Thiveron feel a sense of friendliness from this ring.
Identify.
Kuzon is very suspicious of the ring.
You wish to identify.
I cast suspicion on the ring.
You cast identify, Thiveron. Kuzon's going to stare at it suspiciously while you do.
No, I didn't cast identify. I didn't want to use a first level spell on it. I didn't see malignant. I don't think a 15 is going to identify it though.
I don't make friends with rings. This is suspicious.
You definitely do know that it is a magical ring.
I don't get much more out of it. Prava reaches out to accept it.
As you take it, Z smiles, just like, well, now I feel better about you getting me that medicine. But thanks again, all of you. I better go. The security's looking at me weird. See ya.
That's probably have something to do with... You know what? Never mind.
And she's gonna wander off towards security.
Yeah, Prava levitates the ring up to his face to get like a close look at it, examining it from all angles. Even kind of reaches out like a probe a telepathic thought towards it to see if there's any sort of reaction.
The reaction is calming, friendly, affectionate.
Aiden looks at you examining it, and you see that he is holding back a chuckle, and he says, "It's a ring, Prava. You wear it on your finger."
Yes, I know what a ring is, Aiden, but there's something special about it. Prava returns its affection in equal measure.
It seems to give the same response. It's a very happy and glowing ring. It seems as you do that, the colors brighten a bit on its surface.
Prava's gonna like look at everyone and see if anyone wants to like take a look at it themselves, and if not, he's gonna put it on.
You're gonna put it on, are you?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think Kuzon would stop you.
Yeah, Aiden just shrugs. It's a ring. You're supposed to put it on, I guess.
Would you roll me 1d3? You can feel the ring. It fits snugly on your finger, surprisingly. You didn't think it would fit so well, but you can feel it slowly like accumulating to you. It will take about 1 hour to accommodate you.
Alright. Prava is excited to see what happens in an hour then.
Nothing bad, I hope.
I mean, nothing this friendly could be bad, right?
Except from a curse item trying to get you to wear it.
But a friend gave it to me, so it can't be cursed. It has the power of friendship behind it.
It literally feels like friendship. There's nothing bad that can go here.
Ah yes, the Ring of Friendship. It gives you plot armor once per session.
Exactly.
I thought we were just going here and getting information on going after our cruiser.
That is the number 1 quest. However, the number
Okay.
2 quest that the Benefactor gave you was to transport a small paper-covered package from Vidari that was delivered to you to Absalom.
Okay, and one Epsilon are we delivering it to?
Oh, right. Yes.
Essentially, he said, just keep it on Absalom and someone will pick it up from you.
That reminds me, I need to go buy a crate of ice cream and candy.
That being said, there is one difficult prospect that you all may come across, is that despite there not being any actual patrols outside the station, there are still security gates in the station. And while the paper package is not illegal, he did say that it is probably best that no one discover what was inside.
Might I suggest that rather than trying to take the letter with us, we can just leave it on the ship? What we were told is that eventually somebody's gonna approach us and take it from us. That doesn't mean the letter has to be on us.
Okay.
When that person comes, we just tell him our ship is there, we'll be there at this time, come pick it up. And you don't have to smuggle and you don't have to worry about anybody finding the letter.
I've gotten into enough scrapes smuggling junk.
We barely got through our last smuggling job. Let's not get into another fiasco, especially on the station where, you know, my zero risk security building is. I'd very much like to return here without having bad rep, thank you very much.
I'm sure it's fine.
Have we checked your bounty? That's a good way to check your current rep.
Oh, if you check it now, it's kind of in like 50,000.
Yeah,
Who's on
I
just
just give. I don't say anything, but I just have like the price of Aiden like in my heads up display, and I'm just nodding very slowly while making eye contact with him.
No, not.
Aiden gets a chill up his spine, but he doesn't really know why.
At this point, I don't think Kuzon ever intends on trying to cash it in after everything, but he can't help himself but despair of all this money that he's missing out on.
It's like, I could be rich. I could afford another car, several cars,
And then,
mech.
as time goes on, Kuzon starts to remembering, well, he did ram my ship, well, he did do that maneuver with the ship, well, he did make fun of me, well, he did pick me up without my consent. This money is starting to seem so worth it.
Hold on, let's check the vehicle list and see what we can get for 50,000.
The police cruiser was like 7,000. So it's to set a benchmark. I could get like 5 police cruisers.
You could have an army of police cruisers.
I'd have a
We
fleet.
could have our own police.
We could.
Your own police.
See, what I would get was I would get a walker and I would get the big loading vehicle, and then but anyway.
Literally discussing. Setting out.
I
So-
can't dwell on this, or else I will have
If
to
we
just turn-
become a police force, then we can call ourselves the Perseverance Police Force. We can be the PPFs. See? The PP
Yeah,
Force.
How would they get you back after setting you off?
And this is the jailbreaker.
Well, that's the thing. It's gonna be a very short-lived bounty because as soon as I get out of that predicament in a week, I'm gonna hunt them down, and they're all gonna get a sniper bullet in their fucking craniums.
Wouldn't
There
doesn't
you go.
appreciate the hustle? Wouldn't he like, oh, you know, fair game, 50,000, 50,000?
Oh yeah. It's all fun and games until it's at my expense. Then all bets are off.
I finally decide what I'm naming my cruiser.
Oh, what are you naming it?
So instead of the Perseverance to Vic Kuzon, it's the Stubborn.
Stubborn.
Yeah, I picked out art for it and everything.
We can call it Stubby for short, you know?
Ye old stubborn.
See,
Oh, I like
that is an unintentional stab at Kuzon, and it'll hurt his feelings a lot, but he'll keep the name anyway.
What do you plan to do first then? Now you're back on Absalom.
I mean, if Prava's like doing some visiting with friends and stuff, like I'll offer to drop him off so we can hang out like the noodle shop or whatever.
Yeah, Prava wants to go see Dia and see if she's seen the news.
Have you seen the news?
Dude, you know what? Now you have to record a message for her. I am Prava. This is my favorite noodle shop on the station.
So, as you start going through the more of the low-down areas out on the outer ring of the station, you start heading towards Dia's noodle shop. And as you
Thiveron just kind of remembers the way, and he just kind of like lips his jowls. Noodles.
Noodles.
And I, while we're like driving, I'm sure Kuzon would like eye anybody who has a fancy car and like, you know, rev up his engine at the spotlight, but nobody seems to want to take him on a straight race. He's disappointed.
Oh yeah, fuck Enzo.
Whoever Enzo is.
Yes, I don't know who he is, but fuck that guy.
That poor Enzo guy.
Enzo would probably be, honestly, with that kind of name, Enzo would probably be the next D&D.
Can I personally request a fuck Enzo arc?
You start searching around, you find Enzo, you must find out why they don't like him.
You don't understand why, but you just hate a certain individual named Enzo, and you don't know what he looks like or any of his defining characteristics, but you'll recognize him when you see him, and you're sure that you'll hate him.
God, that Enzo guy, fuck him. And you find out that he's all charitable, and you're wondering why everybody hates him.
Because fuck him, that's why.
Charity are the scummiest people of all.
Actually, that'd be another fun name. It could be the Stubborn. I also had an idea that I could just call it the Comet. That'd be cool too. Shit.
We'll save that for our fighter jet that we get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we're gonna
Having a
nosedive
pirate
into the enemy. Then it's actually a comet.
As you start driving in, by the way, you do see Dia like serving her noodles about and relaxing at a store. She's got a few customers here and there, but not too many. It's not the lunch rush yet.
Prava's gonna like try to make an entrance. Whenever we park, he's gonna like pull his cowl up, and he's gonna like walk over to the stand, and he's gonna levitate some money out of his pocket and put it down the table. And he's like, "Just a few credits for your time, young lady," in telepathic talk.
I'm not like that, and oh. She turns
Prava
around.
pulls down his cowl and just like smiles at her.
She immediately opens her arms and hugs you across the noodle store. It's like, oh, you're back.
Yeah, good to see you too, Dia. Did you see that thing I did with the floating money? And Prava's like showboating a little bit, like waving the money in the air telepathically.
As you say that, it's like, see, yeah, I did see something. What do you think you were doing? And she's gone from hugging you to shaking your shoulders. Like, what were you doing?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What was I doing?
The news.
Oh, that little thing on the Adari? Please, that doesn't even count as a dangerous job, alright? Like, not even the top 5 most dangerous jobs I've done on the Perseverance.
Dangerous? What do you do with these people?
That's classified information, he says in telepathic speech.
You're not a secret agent, Prava. It's like she says that the train.
I was.
And she says that the train that goes overhead that's carrying cargo. It's like she shuts up for a minute. You can see her rubbing her forehead, like you almost gave me a heart attack.
Someone needed to do it, alright? The people of the Pact Worlds needed to know what was happening on the Adari.
Well, still, you did very well. From what I saw, like everybody was cheering you guys on. But, oh, that reminds me. I have been contacted by him again.
Alright, Cole? What did he have to say?
Cheers. Oh, well, mainly just what he had been doing for a while. He gave me some money, told me everything is okay, and hope I'm doing well. You know, small talk.
It's no fair. He hasn't sent me a single message.
Didn't he give you a new, like, messaging thing? Or maybe something happened between you two? You never did explain.
Yeah, I'm still not sure what to feel about all that. Once I have it a little better in my head, I'll come and have a conversation with you about it.
Okay. I understand. But enjoy the noodles and, well,
Yeah.
there's probably other people waiting for you. Just make sure you come visiting now and again.
Yeah, of
Or
course.
message me.
Yeah, I have a new friend living on the station now too. Her name is Z. I hope you don't mind, but I gave her your contact information. You might hear from her.
Oh. Alright, make sure to remember.
You kind of gave her the name. She's not from around here. Says she's something called
Well-
a succubus. I don't really know what that means, but
You see her raise a brow and look at you, like, for a moment.
She's not. He's not kidding, by the way. I can attest to that.
yeah, we
Yeah.
found her. She was a prisoner of the pirate queen, and we took her down.
Pirate Queen. Bro, what have you been doing?
He's over exaggerating. It was just a small tussle in space while we were protecting a space convoy from some pirates. We did ram one of them into an anomaly. That was fun.
I did hear about that, however. About, you know, some devils and the like, and even a demon or two, actually moving to Absalom under the Immigration Act.
So you guys actually see Thiveron do something that you've never seen him do before. He pulls out his data pad and starts typing furiously on it, and then sends a message to somebody.
All right, but keep an open mind when you meet Z. All right. I want her to come out in one of our group nights out.
Well, sure. When she gets here, I'm sure we'll get along if you got along with her.
All right, well, good to see you, Dia. I'll stop in next time I got some free time. But we better keep on. Thanks for the noodles.
She waves. She does look a bit puzzled to Thiveron, wondering how he's, like, typing on the data pad, given that she thought he was blind, but she doesn't know about, you know, voice recognition, touch sensitivity, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
She's like, huh.
He's a magic dog. Don't worry about it.
I think he smells the letters.
Yeah, it's a
Maybe.
scratch and sniff data pad. The A is strawberry. Thiveron's not doing good. It's like the ideas of demons and devils having free run of a section on Absalom.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, Kuzon like doesn't know how to react, but he kind of looks up at you to run to see how you react. And
I can
not
just
good.
imagine. I can just
Yeah.
imagine Thiveron being that meme. By the Pope.
By His Holiness, the Space Pope. The
And then he
reptilian
just like
Space Pope.
he just like sees it's like Kuzon like totally neutral expression looks up at Thiveron. Thiveron's frowning. Kuzon mimics his expression.
Thiveron looks panicked.
Religious
This
good
could
boy
grow.
noises stop.
Yeah, there's like cosmic alignment shifting out of balance here. And Thiveron is like, nobody happened to kiss her or bed her, did they?
Oh hell
Anybody
no!
missing
No.
any of your life force?
No.
Probably
I'm pretty sure none of us have a death wish. Don't worry about it.
Succubi, they feed on your life force through acts of passion. You let one on our ship?
The Prava has his hands on his ears, like blah 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 blah.
Blah, 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 racism, blah, 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 blah.
Not hearing anything about what succubi eat. Blah 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 blah.
I'm just gonna say I'm an American, and you are putting me in the they need to go back where they came from. Why would you do that to me?
That is true. No one did ever tell you that she was a succubus. Huh.
Nobody did. He's freaking the fuck out.
Hey, Thiveron, my dude, listen, breathe, man, breathe. I'm gonna put a hand on his shoulder. The reason I didn't tell you is because you seem like the religious type, alright? I figured a good boy like you is probably gonna have some issues. Look,
He's gonna look at you, and you can see his eyes are trying to open. He's so mad right now.
He wants
No
to so
way.
badly overcome his blindness so he can glare at you.
He's like,
Aiden actually shrinks back a little bit when he sees that. Damn, he's pissed. Okay, look, dude. I assessed the situation. I know what she was. I know what she was doing. She seemed different from her other types. And besides, what the hell are we supposed to do? Leave her in the middle of fucking nowhere on a destroyed pirate ship? Come on, man. The reason I didn't tell you is because I didn't want you to worry. Everything's fine. Everything worked out. Until, you know, Prava had to open his mouth, but still.
She's gonna be a legal citizen of Absalom. She's
No,
gonna be
she is
immigration
not.
and everything.
Demons stay out.
He must stay out.
Actually, would you like to roll mysticism if you want to know a bit more about how succubi function? I'm not sure if you know how they function in Pathfinder or not. All right, I would say, hang on, let me check. That is, exactly enough. Wow, dead on. Right, you would know that there are actually two types of succubi. Or, succubi and incubi are the same thing, but there are actually two
Right.
types. There's the demon type and the devil type. Because one of them follows the demon master and one of them follows the devil master. I think it's Asmodeus?
Asmodeus.
I think that's it. Yeah, essentially, they are this weird in-between. Like, they can be either one. Of course, one is chaos evil and one is lawful evil. Tulliver is very against the chaos side, more iffy on the devil kind of side.
Okay. I thought we were talking the chaotic evil succubus, because that's the only one.
Yeah,
Like Thiveron would still be like sort of freaking out just because.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't
regardless,
know
I
if she's
assume
devil or not.
succubi eat people's souls. Like that's.
Oh
Not,
yeah,
That's not cool with him.
one just makes a deal.
It
one
removes
just-
them from the cycle of cosmic life entirely.
So,
And
yeah, I guess-
he's not like he's freaking out not because there was a succubi, but because all of his friends were in very grave danger. Like he's coming to realize that Z must not have had any ill will towards them, but that she very well could have done something. And he's kind of like projecting his frustration at himself onto everybody else because he didn't realize what she was. So that's why I'm just giving insight into why he's freaking out so badly.
Yeah, very cute, slender doggo.
Yeah, he's not actually trying to drive a wedge between the party. He's freaking out because he didn't realize.
Yeah, I couldn't watch them. I couldn't protect them if something did
Yeah.
happen.
I just want to put that out there before anybody thinks that I'm just like
Oh yeah, don't worry about it, man. It's fine. It's actually
being
pretty
the
cute. I
lawful
like it.
douche guy right now.
Thiveron is a good boy. So yeah, basically, so do you all argue this over by like the car before you're about to leave?
Yeah,
Or
pretty
you're all
much.
in the car driving?
And T-Ron's like pouting. It's like, all right, but no more succubi on the ship.
And as soon as Aiden's about to say alright, he stops for a second. Wait, actually, can we make a promise like that? I turn towards Prava and Kuzon. Yeah, I don't think we can make that promise, dude.
I just shrug and say, like, I mean, it seems like every time we get something on our ship, we're escalating the amount of danger. It's going to be a star or a nuclear reactor or something equally dangerous.
Yeah,
if we keep it up at
if
this
we keep
pace.
going
If I
like
were to
this,
sling our ship into
I
the
would argue
sun,
that we already have a
it would
small
not
star on the ship.
destroy you as thoroughly as if a succubi were to eat your soul.
Oh, by the way, Thiveron is correct, however. Succubi are, well, quite bad in the realm of even devils and demons. Like, demons will, of course, destroy your soul over time. Devils will probably keep them. But the point is that they completely remove you from any sort of afterlife or
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not even resurrection. It's just Thiveron as a mystic knows that, like, if his friends were to die, it would be sad and painful, but at least, like, their souls are going somewhere.
Yeah, and you can, as a mystic, you even have spells to be able to chat with them from time to time, you know.
Yeah, and
But-
but like, if they're devoured by a succubus, it's dunzo on a cosmic level.
at any rate, hey, Kuzon, pull us over there by that store. I need to buy a crate of ice cream and candy.
Ice cream?
You're gonna fatten up, Aiden, if you go through a whole crate of ice cream.
Oh no! You got me all wrong, Prava. That's not for me. That's payment for my boys.
You pay your men in ice cream?
Hell yeah! That's the only payment they take, since they're not technically legal enough to be paid cash right now. Yeah, I can't really give money.
On the line.
I can't really give them money, so I pay them in ice cream and candy.
On the front line for a creamsicle. It's hard life being mercenary.
What did I do for this Klondike bar, you ask? War crime.
War crime.
So yeah, how much for a crate of candy and ice cream, my dude?
Given the price of normal food, if you want good quality, I guess I'd say 5 credits.
Okay. Tell you what, I'll even go the extra mile. How's about 10 credits and I can get some kind of one of those poppers with confetti and shit, so we can turn it into a party.
You want to get party supplies as well.
Yeah.
So essentially, as Aiden enters this small little convenience store and comes out and just starts loading the boot up full of like ice cream, like self-chilling ice cream, like crate, like candy and poppers and stuff.
Oh, how about the piñata as well? Piñatas are always fun.
Piñatas?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That would come with the candy stuff, I guess.
Nice. Alright, Kuzon, we're ready. Let's get back to zero risk security.
Yeah. Seems like...
Aiden doesn't give any explanation. He just takes all that stuff in stride. He loads up the party supplies. We're good. We're golden. We got everything we need.
Right then. So you soon start pulling up towards the entrance to zero security. The old rundown office building is looking much tidier than it once did. You can see a few people running about in front of the place, going about their business. Even Bro 9 as like left before you, he's already like walking about and lifting crates.
Hey, Bro 9, over here. Give me a hand.
Oh, boss! Sweet ride! Like puts up like devil horns with his fingers. Nice.
Yeah. I return the gesture and I look towards Kuzon. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like trying to copy the social cue and he just can't.
Anyway, has anybody seen Grabby? Where's Grabby?
Oh, her? She said something about doing a mission inside.
Ah, yes, so she's here. Gotta go find her. Before Murana gets a whiff of what's going on. Speaking of which, where is Murana?
Oh, her? She's off doing transport work.
Ah, perfect. So she's not around. Right, thanks. You carry that stuff to the main room then. We don't have to hide it. And I'll go find Grabby. About you guys, and he turns towards the rest of the party. Make yourselves at home. Have a drink. Chillax. I'll be right back.
I would like to try some of this iced cream.
Sure. We'll share it. Just don't pop the crate until I'm back.
Oh yeah, he comes with a desert planet. What the fuck is ice cream?
Kuzon doesn't know. He's never been able to afford to maintain a running freezer before.
Right. Squad lead Gravi. I hear that your mission was successful. Here is the payment we agreed on. Make sure to distribute it evenly amongst the troops and have fun. That's an order, and I give her a salute.
She gives a small salute back. Like, she's clearly very proud. Like, yes, I did good. But before she knows it, she can't control the kids. She's barely older than them, and they've already swarmed for goods.
Before they reach the crate, Aiden's just gonna bow up a fist, and he's gonna slam it into the top of the crate to bash it open and let all the candy, the ice cream, and all the poppers like slide all over the place, plus the piñata. Then I'm gonna grab a few ice creams and start tossing one at everybody, including Thiveron. By the way, he realizes as soon as the ice cream is halfway flowing towards him. Thiveron, duck!
Instead of ducking, he catches it in his mouth and eats it.
Oh.
It's a dog thing. They always catch it.
Yeah. By the way, Grabby basically looks towards you, Aiden, and like hand signs to you. Basically, you know he can still see it, right?
Oh, good job, Thiveron. Yeah, and gives him a thumbs up. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna rough up Grabby's hair a bit, and I'm gonna leave her and the kids to have their fun, and I'm gonna sit down and grab myself a drink.
Yeah, Prava's gonna go up to the kids and he's gonna be like, "Hey kids, I want to practice something. Are there any animals you all like?"
I heard about something. It was called they're on that planet. They got wings, big.
Wings, huh? Prava holds out his hand and he focuses, and the light from his star makes like a tiny little bird statue in his hand.
You see him look at it. It's like that's not what I'm talking about. That's amazing. Like they try touching it and stuff. Essentially, it's sort of like a hard, like hologram is what you're making if you want to equivalent it to anything.
Yeah, so it's solid and like doesn't have mass or like.
It doesn't exactly have mass, but it is solid. They'll like they'll start touching it and stuff, eating their ice cream, looking at the small little bird statue that you made. Like, oh my god! You hear one kid go, "Dragon, that was it!" Then like suddenly out of nowhere, as if he just remembered.
As he says that, Aiden perks up for a second, then he returns to his drink.
Alright.
Prava tries to do a dragon, but it doesn't go nearly as well as the bird.
Does it just look all derpy? Does it?
It's just like this lumpy little mass. You can kind of see where like the tail and the wings are supposed to be, but like he tried to detail the scales and it ruined the whole thing.
It's just a little thorny little ball of mess.
Yeah. It's like a thorny little lump tail.
No. Prava. My dude. I appreciate the effort, but you got it all wrong, man. Look at the claws. That's not a dragon's claw. It's supposed to be thicker. Plus, it's way too short. They're actually way bigger. You see, this nail actually is supposed to be bigger than this one. Also, the scales. You have every dragon has a reverse scale somewhere on their body, usually behind the neck, around this area. One of them has to be going the opposite way. That's kind of like a chink in the armor kind of deal. Poetic if you think about it. Also, if you see that slit over there.
Is Aiden just flipping going like super detailed on his explanation of dragons?
Yes.
Kind of nerd, Aiden.
What? You know, I've been around. I'm a mercenary. I pick up some stuff, you know? Don't worry about it.
Some stuff about dragons.
You know, you pick up knowledge about this and that. I mean, I know about Succubi, didn't I?
Are you one of those Dungeons and Dragon players?
I'm not a
Dude,
nerd.
You know that's satanic, right?
I should have
Thiveron, watch out, you're getting more and more American. So you couldn't
Actually, that's I had an interesting thought. Are my hard light constructs like hollow? Or are
yeah,
they, like-
I would say they would be. Like, for instance, if
like-
you made cable from it, then it would essentially still be hollow.
What if I were to like make it in water? Would it like hold the water?
I would say yes.
Oh, wow.
Prava is gonna make another bird statue out of like a cup of water, and he's gonna put it in the freezer.
Of course, I'll go.
Instant ice sculptures.
Right. So you took it in a very creative and cool way. The way my brain went is, I'm gonna make a cup. I'm gonna pour something into it and say, here you go, and then I'm gonna leave, and that person is gonna get fucking washed by that liquid as soon as you leave the area. Be a fucking dick about it.
Oh, that's true. We could like set traps and stuff with it. We could put like little cups of acid above doorways.
By the way, I'm waiting for a moment when the kids let their guards down. Then I'm gonna take one of the poppers and I'm gonna attack them from the back. Sneak attack. Bam!
And then all hell breaks loose as poppers and everything flies about all
As
over
the popper
place.
goes off, Thiveron thinks it's a gunshot.
No, that's gonna turn dark.
This is where Thiveron takes out his spear and he starts going ham.
You guys felt like during this conversation, and then you see he's sitting there like eating ice cream and like tapping and making conversation, making jokes at Aiden's expense, etc. And then all of a sudden he accidentally like smooshes his ice cream cone in his mouth and like stumbles forward in his seat like in like alarm. and then suddenly and then try to recompose himself.
You okay
Kuzon,
over there,
you
buddy?
okay there, buddy?
It's fine. And that I meant to do that.
You sure you're okay? You looked a little, nervous. And I give him a gentle pat on the back. You okay? I mean, we're all friends here. You can tell us if something's bothering you.
What I'd say you'd be able to tell is Kuzon just got wigged out by something that he read in an email, but he's smiling and just ha, accidents happen. This is the first time I ate ice cream. I don't know what I'm doing. A napkin, please.
Look, if something's happened, you should tell me. Everything that went down is my fault. You deserve to at least have an ally in this issue.
By the way, while this is happening, Aiden has taken out the handkerchief and he is cleaning up Thiveron's mouth.
You're having a hard time because every time you clean one side, he turns to the other side and gets that one dirty with another chocolate bar.
I don't think we're making much progress here.
Found out I'm dad.
Thiveron stops and looks at you.
Aiden too.
So as you remember, Prava, the whole thing with Ishketi is whenever they mate, it's always supposed to be to the death, and whoever the survivor is supposed to raise the kids.
So you're saying that he lost his fight to the death and lived anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, they know he's still alive.
So what happens now? You're both adults, so is it just kind of or does she come after you now?
I don't know.
So do you gotta pay alimony now that you're alive, or how's this work?
I grew up with a bit of a condition. I've always had some neurological problems, and mild seizures, some muscular atrophy, all of that. Pretty much everybody growing up thought that I was dead meat, and I was dead meat, but I was spared, and I'm not supposed to be. So as soon as I woke up and found out that I wasn't dead, and I saw that all the eggs were gone, I got the fuck off planet. I don't know what this means for me. This is not precedented, but
You're past the rutting stage. Surely all the violent urges she would have felt towards you would be gone by now. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm gonna be the laughingstock of all of Booster City.
Oh, come on. You're the plucky survivor who made it, all right? You're not a joke. You're a survivor. You persevere.
I just it's I'm being called
By who?
by one of my kids.
Oh. Wait. Oh shit! I'm gonna look towards Prava.
Family reunion!
Prava! Your fucking stream!
Family reunion?
I don't know how they. It's I'm just I don't even know how they. I don't know how they recognized me. I thought it'd be fine, but I guess family resemblances and all of that.
So...
I'm sorry, Kuzon. You specifically said you didn't want to show up on stream too. This is my fault.
Just out of curiosity, Kuzon, and Aiden's gonna look towards the background where the kids are probably still having fun. So how many kids are we talking here?
I'm just thinking, I think the average clutch would have to be pretty big, wouldn't it?
Whatever happens, happens. So you survived. Who's gonna fucking blame you for that? If anything, doesn't that just prove how tough you are compared to all those other guys that died? I mean, whatever happens, happens, We'll be there to watch your back. So it's fine.
We gotta cancel all our other jobs and go meet Kuzon's family immediately.
Okay, I like the gusto, Prava, but I feel like we're taking it a bit overboard here.
Family?
I will slap you, Prava.
I just started like I don't know what this could mean. What kind of obligations they may ask of me if I return.
Maybe they just want to know their dad. What's wrong with that?
Or, you know, they could just wanna murder him, as fucking Kuzon said himself.
Well, if it comes to that, we'll protect him.
I'm like, you see Kuzon like looking back and forth, and he looks at Prava like, because I'm a fuck up, all right? It's like I was constant disappointment, and I'm a disappointment now. I couldn't even die properly.
How can you say that you're a fuck up? If you had succeeded, you would have murdered your wife. And if you failed, you would have died. If anything, you had the best outcome. What are you saying?
You survived, you developed skills to survive on your own in your galaxy, you made a crew of kick-ass friends, you're a tiny-ass kitty hero, Kuzon.
You see him just like it's like his robotic hand is like stiff, like locked in place, and his biological hand is like trembling, and he's just gonna get up, and it's like I need to get in my car. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay.
Oh, that could have went better.
And he's just gonna trudge. He's gonna trudge out the room like half stumbling.
As you go outside towards your car, you see Mirana's coming back with like a crate. She's like, "You know, Kuzon?" And she says she's about to walk past you.
Yes.
She looks back like, "Are you sure?" Like that confused her a bit. That response.
I'm just gonna like crawl. I'm just gonna crawl in the front seat, and I'm just gonna click because he doesn't trust himself to clutch a steering wheel, and it's just gonna be like, tell the autopilot drive somewhere.
The car takes off. As soon as you do that, Moana goes through the door and says, "Aiden, what did you do?"
As soon as I hear her voice, I'm gonna look towards the kids, and Aiden's very hurriedly going to scream, "Hide the evidence and split up. We haven't seen each other all day."
It's too late. There's too much rubbish about. Thiveron's covered in chocolate. It's too far gone. However, Grabby's now nowhere to be seen.
I'm disappearing as well, little shithead. I'm out of here as well. I don't answer Murana. I'm already out.
Prava and Thiveron, what are you doing once Murana comes in?
Prava didn't notice Murana come in. He's too busy like thinking about like all the little tiny Kuzons and like, you know, what they're like. He's even like making like a little tiny Ishketi statue now with his hard light.
Thiveron, hearing what was going on, is just watching closely and sends a telepathic message to Kuzon as he was walking out the door, that he'd better come back and that I'll find you if you don't.
No one leaves me.
No one leaves best doggo.
I think Kuzon planned to come back until he got that message.
No
one leaves me. We're together forever now.
I'd say out of character, Kuzon's definitely coming back, but in character, Kuzon is just like thinking about it's like how long can I like tell this car to loop around the station before they forget who I am and and leave without me.
How many loops can I make before the police on the station get suspicious? Like, what the fuck is that guy doing?
Oh god. Right then. So, Aiden, when you tried to escape, I suspect you went through one of the doors, you do see that the room that was designated for one of the facilities is actually in the process of being like stacked up with boxes and gear and stuff.
Yeah, so it's still a work in progress. I'm assuming they're not done, so...
Nowhere near done.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of manpower. I guess it's time we figure out, get some new people involved. We do have the living space.
Speaking of new people, Moana says from behind you.
Ah! God damn, you're fast when you want to.
I met somebody, or more like they called me.
Did it happen
You ever
to be
heard
a
some-
slug person that calls herself a pirate queen?
Yes, how did you know?
Lucky guess.
Well, she said she'd be here in a few days. It's a new recruit or something you've gotten me into?
We can call it that. Me and the boys were protecting a convoy out in space and we got attacked by pirates led by her.
She's like glaring at you. Is anyone else I should know about?
And he's just like, I just
Aiden is about to say about a succubus that he gave his information in case she needs a place to stay, but seeing as Murana's probably already in a pretty far move, he's like, nah, that's it, we're good.
Oh yeah, how to cheer him up? The surprise succubus at the door. Just a soul-sucking creature. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, everything's fine, don't worry about it, you stress out too much. I can see it in your complexion. You know what? Maybe you need a day off. Why don't you take the day off, relax, and Aiden starts moving behind her to give her a light massage. You know, go to some of your favorite places, grab a meal, grab a nice book. It's been a while. Take a day for yourself. Just relax.
She's like still looking towards you like a glare. It's like, I think I will, and I'll use your card for it. But
Yeah.
before then, you have some visitors on the way.
Oh. Visitors?
Yes.
Why
Your
didn't they contact me?
employers.
Guess we better start cleaning up then. Something tells me that rich asshole's not gonna be into the homey atmosphere.
If he's not, then he can get out. Anyway, I got a crate to deliver. She picks up a crate with one arm and heads on into the operations room.
Well, that went better than expected. And then he again remembers that he lied to her and didn't tell her about the succubus. And then he just mumbles, "That's a problem for future Aiden." And he storms out.
That's future agent's issue there. Speaking of those people, it seems like they were here much sooner than expected. As Aiden's talking to Moana, Prava, and Thiveron, you do get somebody coming inside, and this very recognizable person, as both the Benefactor and Elabor have stepped into the room.
Ella, it's been so long since I've seen you in person. How are you?
Thiveron believes his face is clean, but it is definitely not.
Just covered in chocolate. Complete covered in chocolate. So yes, essentially the Benefactor like comes into the room with his cane and he's like, "Huh. It is good to meet you all once again. Well, at least two of you."
Yeah, well, you know, we're the sensible ones anyway.
Aiden, you probably come in at this point and as he starts speaking again.
As I rush into the room, I still can't see him. Boys, we got some bigwigs coming over. Oh, you are here already. Lovely.
He gives you a small nod. It is nice to meet you under more casual circumstances.
I'm gonna look towards Thiveron's mouth. I'm gonna look towards the floor. Yes, casual. And I'm gonna walk up over and I'm gonna take out the handkerchief again and I'm gonna start wiping Thiveron's mouth. So, what brings you here?
Of course. The package, he says as he like hands off his cane towards Elabor, who's takes it and gives you a small wave, Prava.
Yeah, probably happy to be acknowledged. He's like basically like buzzing like a grasshopper.
It's a buzz.
Yes, well, since we didn't exactly know who and when is gonna pick up the letter, especially we didn't think that you would pick it up personally, we decided it's best to leave it on the ship since you want to be, you know, left more under wraps and unnoticed. After all, if it's left there, it's not gonna have to go through any customs.
Of course, that makes sense. I can easily pick it up later. Still, this is nice. I prefer doing interactions personally, and I must say, you've caught more than my interest.
I'm gonna glance towards Prava and say nothing.
Not that I'm upset by such things. You do give my organization a good name.
I just think it was something that the Pact Worlds had to see. There would be nothing to stop me from doing it.
So, you can continue with my blessing if you desire. I'm not trying to control your actions, I just mean you can use it on my missions as well. All I desire is that you may delay the broadcast a little until after your missions are complete.
For editing, I assume?
Not exactly, maybe. Depends on what you discover. That's all I really ask. Just remove anything of dangerous import.
Yeah, I mean, I've already... Yeah. Alright, I'll keep that in advisement.
And I shall trust your word on it. You have all kept your word after all so far.
Since you're here, do you want some ice cream? Or, I guess it's Aiden's ice cream. Aiden, can I offer them some ice cream?
Sure.
Prava levitates over some ice cream and looking smug as fuck.
You can see him look for a moment and then look towards Edible and then gives a nod and like basically he takes the ice cream. As if like, yes, this is polite to take what's offered. I must say, you are the first of my employees to greet me as such.
I like to think of us as friends.
Well, maybe once we get to know each other a bit more, then yes, that would be fitting.
Nobody has ever seen Prava look this excited.
Is there any questions why I'm here? We could always meet later at your ship at your convenience. I am on Absalom for a while, after all.
About that other job that you tasked us with, finding that missing ship. Since it's been a while since we last spoke, has there been any new information that might offer us some leads to where to find it?
Ah, yes, of course. That. Edible is here for that reason, in fact. And he's got a gesture over to her as he actually decides to dig into his ice cream since he didn't need to talk for a moment.
Well, since they're still standing, Aiden just offers with his hand, please take a seat. You want anything to drink with your ice cream?
No, this is fine. He gets a bit on his mustache and he's like rubbing it off. You can tell that this is pretty juxtaposition to the intimidating like aura he gave off before. He seems much more relaxed around you guys than previously. Edible, however, does speak up at this point. We have discovered a lead that could help you. After your insight into the possibility of tracking down the ship through its drift records, we have come up with a plan. Unless you have one of your own, would you like to hear it?
Even if we had our own, I'd want to hear it. What did you come up with?
Of course. And she gives like a small nod and gets the scales that she still had in her hand and places it on the table. Despite the very thin point, it stands perfectly still. Well then, if you would, Edible. And with that, Edible like gestures outwardly and suddenly this hologram appears, blue like formations up to the building that looks very much like the control tower of Absalom. As you may know, that drift records are kept within the Absalom control tower, stretching back, well, hundreds of years, even slightly before the gap. But in order to find the ship, we cannot simply follow the records. With such things as stellar drift, anomalies, and all sorts of factors, it would be nearly impossible to track it down. That is, unless you had the aid of Triune. But if you were to go to one of his temples, then once you have the drift coordinates, they could probably decrypt and track where the deviations happened.
I'm assuming these codes are in a place where we don't have access to, otherwise this wouldn't have been such a finicky job.
If you think about it in this way, you have records of previous trips of civilian ships. They are not exactly high-class, important information to keep quiet about. but they are important nevertheless. So it's not like we're asking you to break into a bank vault or anything like that. It may be difficult, however.
I think we're up to it. After all, that's one of my specialties.
I understand. However, there is also the concern that we have had about this. About when you eventually find the ship itself. We do not know exactly when it takes off into the drift. You may know or not know that ships of a certain size can carry other ships within its hull, but a ship latching onto its side, we do not know what the exact outcome would be if you were to enter the drift with it. After all, it doesn't account for your ship when trying to avoid debris within the drift or really anything else. So it's possible your ship may become damaged.
We've got a good engineer. I'm sure that whatever whatever technical difficulties we run into, Kuzon's gonna be able to take care of it.
Yes, the Benefactor has a suggestion on that matter. He's like wiping his mouth. Carmel. Yes. I in fact do. You see, there is a possibility that you could develop your shields in order to match that of, the ship you are latching onto, allowing it to think that you are simply just an added-on piece of tech while you're latched onto the side of the ship.
Match its signal. Clever.
Correct. However, such technology is defensive in nature and, you may need to talk to some experts in that field. Well, personally, I could point you towards a few. I can entrust you with this matter, I suppose. He's actually looking towards you, Aiden. There are more than a few options, not that I'm asking you to do such a thing.
We'll keep that in mind for now.
Is there any other questions you wish? Elabor, by the way, will be your liaison for this task.
Speaking of, whenever the Benefactor started addressing Aiden directly, Prava made a telepathic connection to Elabor. Just like, so, on Absalom for a while, huh?
That is correct, she says in her mind, hoping that you do pick it up.
Yeah. So, are you stuck doing business the whole time, or do you have some free time to hang out with me and the girls?
My pure job on this station at current is to be your liaison and personal mission manager. So, I suppose I am currently in your employ.
Well, not to abuse my power or anything, but what do you say we spend some time out in the next couple of nights? Before we go on this mission, it'd be good to get to know my employee better.
Yeah, by the way, Aiden, you can see Elabor smiling a little bit suddenly, despite her normally stoic demeanor. You can't tell exactly why, as inside her mind she says, "I will see once we collect the package."
You see that
she's clearly thinking of it.
You see that Aiden is actually a little bit on guard when he sees that, because again, he doesn't trust her at all since he knows nothing about her.
And all of a sudden you hear some very happy bug noises coming from beside you.
So, that is the information we can provide. Oh, and given we know the basic layout of the ship, if you want to get anything more detailed about the ship, you may have to do it yourselves if you wish to prepare more. But we will provide you with an item when you're about to leave. You're going to need it in order to access the server room.
Sounds good. If anything, if you have some schematics on the building where the codes are being kept, that would also help.
Understood. I will send those along as soon as I am able.
Good. Then the rest we'll handle on our own, and we'll contact you once we have everything we need to tell you that we're on the way to collect the ship.
He gives a small nod of his head before standing up, brushing down his suit. Well then, I believe our business is done here. He grabs his cane from Elibor and motions for it to follow along as he turns to leave.
Prava's just like muttering under his breath, like, I need to go buy a dress. I need to.
Aiden just lets out a sigh as he sees them off and says, I'll be on the rooftop if you guys need me. I definitely need a smoke after that. He takes out his pack of cigarettes and heads to the roof.
By the way, Aiden, you do hear the Benefactor actually gives a small chuckle as like he's leaving. Almost as if he enjoyed that more than he should.
Aiden looks puzzled, but he doesn't question it and just, sees him off. And yeah, he's gonna go to the rooftop and smoke for a while. Enjoy the view and shit.
I'd say like after like an hour or two, you eventually see the car like pull up, the cruiser pull back up in front of the building, but nobody steps out of it.
so basically, the door's just open.
Considering I'm on the roof, maybe I can see the street below and I can see the car parked, and I'm gonna look at it questioningly for a few minutes with nothing coming out, and I'm gonna contact Thiveron and Prava. Guys, our car just rode through, but it's parked outside. I don't see Kuzon walk. Can somebody go and take a look, see what's up?
Kuzon's just like laying in the passenger seat, like asleep, with just like junk food and garbage like littering the front seats of the car, and there's like ketchup everywhere.
Now, you wouldn't know because you weren't here last time, Thiveron, but this is a crime scene, and you were it last time.
Oh no.
So yeah, I'm assuming that I can see Thiveron outside with the car, and I'm gonna contact him. So, Thiveron, be honest with me, how bad does it look? Alright.
I smell lots of ketchup. But I do... Kuzon is here with ketchup.
First things first, I suppose. As Kuzon's recovering and the night, and it starts getting a bit darker on Absalom as the lights start getting turned down for the night. Prava, you're on your hand. It starts to feel a bit warm.
Like painfully so, or just like a little bit, like, I'm talking like 30 degrees, 40 degrees?
Just like a gentle warmth. You know, if somebody's holding your like finger.
So it feels like someone's holding my hand. It really is the friendship ring.
And as you do, you feel like you understand this ring, as you actually understand its abilities. And I will now...
Considering it requires attunement, it's probably a pretty good item.
Ooh.
So the ring itself can actually give people limited telepathic abilities if they wear it, or if somebody already has telepathic abilities, let's say like Thiveron or Prava, even if it's from spells and the like, they gain a boost from it. And no matter what, the user does grant +2 against mind-affecting effects.
Okay, so I get +2 to like mind saves. If someone tries to mind control me like the angel did, I'll be a little more resistant to it next time.
Essentially.
So that means like my racial telepathy, instead of being a 30-foot range, is now a 60-foot
60.
range.
Yep.
Perfect. Just you wait until I start to pick up stuff like the spying on other people's telepathic signals and other tasty telepathic powers.
Yeah, as I said, you can even use this as a limited form of communication because it only takes 1d3 hours. You can swap it off to somebody else and they can communicate thing as well.
Prava takes a moment to silently thank his wonderful angel friend for this beautiful gift.
And I guess, are you guys going to spend the night here, or do you plan on moving in the night? Because Elibor has sent you the information on the office that is holding the information.
I'm thinking we can spend the night planning, deciding on what we're doing, and yeah, we can sleep in Zero Risk Security's building.
Thiveron is going to So are we getting into this office for the information? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, as far as I gathered, they have some codes for the ship that we need to get, and they're not just gonna give them to us. So
I'm gonna do some old-fashioned Thiveron space doggo fortune telling here for Aiden for the next day. So he tells you, Aiden, there's a silent alarm wired to a laser tripwire here in this hallway. Don't hit it.
Relax, I'm not an amateur.
That's what you said the last time. And you almost got me killed. You almost killed me yourself.
Hey, I popped that guy's head like a ripe watermelon, and I watched your back. Don't worry about it, everything's fine.
It could have been my head popping like a watermelon.
Nonsense, I never miss.
Thiveron just shakes his head and walks away.
He's just like, sure. It's just, God.
Okay, so Thiveron will sleep like a happy, confident pupper.
Prava, are you gonna, while everybody's preparing, are you gonna wait until a day after tomorrow, or are you gonna, are you gonna wait until tomorrow night, or are you going to do it tonight?
Well, if everyone's sitting around planning for the future, Prava's just gonna go out tonight and do it tonight.
All right then. So basically, you call on them, and Prava's ready to like go out of the place.
Prava is also gonna like prepare a little bit for the night. He's gonna go out to like a fancy Sheeran clothes store and buy a dress.
Yeah, Sheeran traditional dress, or as traditional as Sheeran get, given
Yeah, how short their history is.
Yeah. So essentially a traditional sort of Sheeran dress, and the like looks sort of like a robe but tied off at the middle, all that sort of thing. Yeah, I guess everybody would know that Prava's basically just going out.
Prava's just like, plans for the night, gotta go, bye.
Rana just shrugs. By the way, have you seen Grammy? I haven't seen her anywhere all day.
I think she bailed as soon as she heard your voice. She bailed before me. You should go be mad at her. Why should I be the one getting all the flack?
Because you're now picking up boxes for the rest of the night. You can plan and chat on your comm while you do it.
Yeah, I'd love to do that, but we kind of got a thing going. We gotta plan this out. I gotta get some good night's rest. Important mission tomorrow.
No, it's fine. Just do it on the comms. Get to work. And while she's complaining about that, Prava, essentially during the night, all three of them are waiting for your ideas.
Out of character, Prava. Couldn't you have taken Morana with you? She's a pain in my ass.
Listen, Prava doesn't know her that well, alright. This is a friend's night. He wants to make sure that all of his best bitches get along.
But yeah, so essentially, all three of them are there, and you're going to go out on the night on the town. Is there anything specific you would like to do that would require a roll?
No, nothing that's going to require a roll. Prava is going to ask Elibor if she can, like, braid her hair. He's been watching a lot of, like, traditional dwarven hair braiding videos. And he's very excited to try.
Do you have, like, a wig? Did you, like, bring a wig just so you could ask somebody to braid it?
Prava wants to braid someone else's hair. And Dia doesn't let Prava touch her hair anymore. Too many straightener burns,
Well, that and Catherines don't have any hair.
Clubbing music?
Well, yeah, Prava's out clubbing.
But yeah, no, Prava's just gonna go out and have a good time, get to know the girls better. Ask Elibor, like, what her work life like, what the Benefactor's like behind closed doors, that kind of thing.
Of course, she's steering away from anything about the Benefactor, but she does like talk about her work life, like how busy it is, and when you talk about braiding and where you learned it, she's like, dwarfs, but okay, I'll let it happen. Z seems to be having fun. She seems much more in her element now when she's, pumped full of, drugs and stuff like that.
Taking her suppressants and, Prava's really happy to see that his friend's doing better, and he focuses mostly on, like, trying to, like, form a connection between Z and Dia, since, Elbor's going to be off planet most of the time. Z needs a local friend, so he's kind of trying to like push those together pretty hard.
What I'll be doing here is before I go to bed, my character, I'll drive back to the ship and like be there to deliver it to him and stuff.
Ah, so if you do, then yeah, if during the night you're going to be spending it at the ship, as you head on back, would you roll perception?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt what you were doing. Okay, perception.
That's fine.
I'm kind of perceptive.
I like jumping back between.
I'm not that perceptive.
Everything seems fine. The Benefactor is coming over to your location. He seems to be on his own, strangely enough, as he walks up to you and goes, "Ah, you have a package then."
Yep, first, and I'll pull out the box, and I'll just like lean in and like looks like. So what is this thing anyway?
Well, I suppose there's no point in, well, hiding it. And he flexes his metallic hand, and a small blade comes out from the top of his wrist, and he cuts the paper. And you can see it's almost like a magical spark across the paper itself as it opens up. And inside, he opens up the small box, and inside there's this almost obsidian black object with certain metallic writing across it.
So it's like you say like an object, like is it like a weapon or is it like a...
I would say it looks kind of like a key. Like it's got the flat face on one end, it extends outwards in a tube with lots of little bumps and the like at the end.
Okay. I'll just kind of like look at it a little bit dumbly.
It's for another group of my employees. They'll be using it on a different planet, of course.
Well, I just give him an awkward smile, and it's like it's a little bit outside of my expertise, but it looks pretty.
He gives a nod. Ah, yes. Your reward will be coming soon, unless you just desire credits, of course. Tell your friends that if there's anything they require, then I will see about trying to obtain it.
Will do, boss. I'll just do a little salute with my metal hand.
He gives a curt nod with a smile. Right. Enjoy the rest of your day. And with that, he just walks off. Towards his vehicle, of course.
Out of character, Kuzon. Ash did point out twice that he just walked. We both know that he uses a cane and has a limp.
Yeah, but I rolled really low on my perception.
Oh
so,
boy,
yeah.
things just hit the fucking fan, didn't they? Oh boy.
Is there anybody driving the car?
Not really. It looks to be like a rather beat up sedan of some kind. Oh, it looks like a sedan, but futuristic sedan. It does, yeah.
I think at that point his expression would change, and then he would just be like, he'd like press up, he'd set his like finger on his chin and just like frown, like, wait. I think he'd clue in that it doesn't make sense that he'd be driving in that.
You can see him like opening the back door and about to like toss the package in.
Wait a minute.
Yes? Who's on?
No, because like I rolled low in my perception, but I think the sedan is a clue that Kuzon would 100. Like I role played him like not figuring out until he's about to pack it away, but it's like he would notice that and that would stand out. That would not make sense to him.
Given that you're on guard, could you roll me a reflex at +2? I would say, as he's about, you have a chance. As he is literally about to jump into the car, you have a chance to do something to either to him or the car.
How close am I? I guess how close do you think he'd let me get to the car?
He would have let you come up close.
I'm gonna like dive to the hood of the car and go for something vital. Like just reach my metal hand in and go to rip out something vital in it if I can, if I have the time.
You're just gonna punch through with your metal arm and literally drag something important out.
Well, like if I need to like slip underneath it and like bust something, if you know what I mean, if I'm small enough to like squeeze underneath the car.
Roll me engineering then.
This is gonna go bad. He could probably kick my ass if we fight.
Ooh, yeah, that was I put a decently high DC on a car that's about to move, but I would say as he's about to take off, your arm goes in and wrenches the starter motor just in time as the car lurches forward as it grinds to a halt in front. You can see an unnaturally angry expression on the benefactor's face as he suddenly steps out of the car, about to reach into his coat pocket, but all you hear is... You have done well, Sir Kuzon. And you actually see another benefactor standing to the side, holding a gun with his cane in the other hand.
I'll pull out my. I guess I imagine I carry at least my laser rifle wherever I go, so I'll like pull it out and aim it. I'm sorry. He's kind of embarrassed. It's like I was slow on the draw for that encounter.
You discovered him. Still, I was not expecting this. And by the way, at this point, you can see a few more people, quite a few more people coming out, even station security, but they don't seem like they're on alert as security, and they're all pointing their guns towards the van. He's like, I think I'll be taking a package now. And one of the security guards goes into the futuristic sedan and drags out the box before handing it to the benefactor. I must apologize. I should have called ahead to tell you when I was arriving. Perhaps then we would have caught it sooner.
I'm still pointing the gun, but I'll just smile. It's like, we'll establish a procedure for what I should do before I hand anything off, and anything important off to you. Maybe a identification or something.
Agreed. Seems like I will have to be more careful from now on.
So, who the hell is this guy?
That's what I intend to find out. He gives a nod towards security, who starts like arresting the man, pulling out what appears to be an automatic pistol and dropping it to the ground and arresting him. Of course, and essentially the benefactor is going to start walking away towards a much nicer looking car with a driver at the front. As I said, you'll be rewarded for this. I bid you good day, Kuzon.
I'll do the salute, but I'll do the salute again. Like, got it, boss. And I'll try to start. I guess I'll use my cruiser to tow it in, because that might be the only way I can get it in the car. I guess the loading robots could help too. I could use them.
Mm-hmm. So, as you're basically loading up the car so the police can come and take it later, Prava, your night on town is going swimmingly.
Oh yeah, it's the best.
Z and Dia are getting along magnificently.
Knew they would.
According to these rolls, they're getting along very, very...
Oh, you've been rolling for it in the background. Good.
Yes.
I like to imagine that like Dia invented like a forearm dance back in the day, and now Prava and Zia are doing it. Prava and Z are doing it too, and Z's the bottom arms, and Prava's the top arms.
Just make sure that they're not getting along too well, because then you might lose your friend.
Yep. I was gonna say something, but I'm like, I better not give Thiveron more ammunition, but he went for it himself.
I thought Thiveron didn't go out with you guys.
No, this is like a girls' night out. Prava didn't tell anyone where he was going, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, essentially they go there, and by the end of the night, they've had fun. Everybody's going about. Elabor didn't exactly get drunk, of course, but she was clearly enjoying herself. She's much more refined, as apart from the party music and the like.
Prava also only had like a drink. He's more out for like the atmosphere and the high energy of the people there than.
So probably Dea and Z probably drunk a lot. Dea didn't put up. Doesn't have as much resistance as Z in alcohol, apparently, though.
I imagine there was the part of the night where like Prava, Z, and Elabor were all just helping Dia puke it out, just like they're there. It's gonna be okay.
It's fine. By the end of the night, essentially, like, Edibor is holding Dia and says, I'll get her back, don't worry. And there's a car waiting for Edibor already.
Alright, well thanks for coming out. I'll worry about getting Z home then.
She nods and starts carrying Dia off, and Z just gives a stretch. It's like, well, freedom, I guess.
Welcome to Absalom. You've seen the best the station has to offer, I promise you. What's the nightlife like back at your home?
Bloody.
Maybe that's why the guys gave me a weird look when I floated the idea of visiting your hometown.
Yeah, never go there, Prava. Trust me. But Prava, if you really want to know about, all this, I don't mind you knowing. I think you'll be alright about it.
Thank you. It's really good for me. I like to know about my friends, where they come from, what their situation is. I want to understand you.
That's fair. But for now, I'm a bit too drunk to explain.
Of course. When you've recovered. What did you think of Dia?
Oh, she was very nice. Very nice to me all night, in fact.
Yeah, one of my best friends in the whole world. You can trust her with anything that you can trust me with.
I remember that. I think we get along quite well. But for now, I need to head back. Like, she's rubbing the back of her head as she's about to leave.
Alright, happy recovery.
Thanks.
I'll see you next time I'm on the station.
She gives a small wave towards you as she vanishes into the slummy-like area.
Prava just lingers a couple minutes to make sure that she's getting home safe, but then he turns around and heads home.